snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hi guys! So this is going to be part 2 of my birthday book haul. I've already done part 1. I will link it up above and down below, so go and check it out if you haven't already seen it. In that part I showed you guys lots of the bookish items that I was given, and also all of the books that I was gifted from Eleanor, from my family, from Lauren, Helen, and from Maddie. So thank you to all of them. Go and check that out if you want to see what they gave me. I was very happy with everything I got. I was so surprised by some of the things, and it was very, very exciting. And I also showed you guys some massive, massive news in that video, like a life update. So definitely go and check that one out if you haven't already. If you have, feel free to keep watching, because now we're going to carry on with part 2 of the amazing book day birthday haul. I can't speak today. Too excited. Anyway, we're going to carry on. So I picked these up on the voucher that I got because I need them in my life. One of them, this one, the picture of Dorian Gray, I picked up because I'm going to be participating in a read-along in October, which is Gothic, and this is one of the books that has been selected for that readathon. So I picked that one up, and then I picked up this one because I think that this will probably be kind of Gothic too, and like kind of creepy, and I think it would count. So I picked these two up, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Plus my boyfriend and my mum have both read this, and they said that it's like crazy that I've not read it. So I need to read it so I can stop having them tell me that I need to read it. So I picked them up so I can read them both, and they are both classics, but they're both like creepy gothic-y kind of classics, I think. So hopefully I'll like them, fingers crossed. If you want to know what read-along I'm talking about, the Gothic read-along, I'll link it down below because Jenny is the one who's organising it from Sunny Sweet Pea, and I'll link her announcement video if you want to join us for that. Moving on to some books that I got because Maddie owed me some money and she bought me books in exchange for the money she owed me, which is a perfect way to repay me, just for future reference, everyone. She got me these Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, and these are the Puffin in Bloom series of books, which I've had my eye on for ages. Like, I think these have been around for a few years now, maybe. I have already read all of the Little Women books. I read them when I was in year 3, which is when you're age 7 or 8. So I read this really, really young, and I don't know how much of it I like took in. I've heard that it's not a great depiction of like women and stuff actually in modern day standards now, but seeing as I read it so long ago, I really can't remember. I love the edition. I mean, how could you not? It's blooming gorgeous the whole way round, so that's marvellous. But yes, I wanted this so that I could put it on my shelf and display it proudly, and also potentially do a reread to see what I think of it now. The next one I got with my repayment money from Maddie was Heidi, which is by Joanna Spyri. Never ever heard anyone say the name of that author. Johanna Spyri. I'm gonna go with that. Again, it's a Puffin in Bloom one, as you can see, super lovely the whole way round, just gorgeous. They're so beautiful. I think all of the illustrations are by Anna Bond, so I will try and find her and like link her below if I can, because they are just so damn beautiful. So this is Heidi. I don't really know anything about Heidi, to be honest. I've never read it. I think she's like a goat herd or something, but I don't know any more than that at all, so I'm gonna give this a go. It's quite a short one. It is a kid's book. That's what all of the Puffin in Bloom books are. And you could probably guess that the next book is also in the range, and that is Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery, another one in the Puffin in Bloom series, as you can see. This one is gorgeous, and I have no idea what Anne of Green Gables is about. So, you know, basically I've just picked up some books because I like the covers, and because they're pitched at kids, but they're classics. And I think I can get into kids' classics more than normal classics. So I'm going to try and start out with some kids' classics and see how I go. And then I bought myself quite a few things when I was in Waterstones with my boyfriend and Maddie, because I'm a loose cannon when I go in Waterstones. And we went into the Waterstones in another town near where I live that we don't often go to. I haven't been there in quite some time. And the Waterstones there is much bigger than the Waterstones in my local town, like 4 or 5 times the size bigger. And they had like a graphic novel section that was just stocked with the first volume in so many series that I wanted to start. so it was kind of like destiny or fate, something like that. So I completely justified all the purchasing of the graphic novels because it was the birthday. I picked up 4 graphic novels. The first one I picked up is Low Volume 2, which is by Remender, Tocchini and McCaig, and this is called Before the Dawn Burns Us. I picked this one up because I read Volume 1 in September and really liked it. Way more than I thought I would. I don't know why I've put it off so long. For some reason I thought I might not like it, but I really did. So I'm hoping that the second volume will be just as good. But yeah, the artwork's really colourful, really vibrant and very nice. It is a bit brutal at times and sexual, so it's definitely a mature graphic novel. But I really like this series so far, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing how it continues. The next one I picked up is Volume 1 of Witches by Snyder, Jock, Nollingsworth and Robbins, and I've had my eye on this for a fair amount of time, but I'm a bit scared of it because I've heard it's pretty brutal and gruesome and terrifying, and I mean, the artwork looks cool, but it sounds pretty nasty. So I might not read it at night because I am a massive wuss, and like all of the people on the back say it's terrifying, so oh yeah. It says, when the Rooks family moves to the remote town of Litchfield, New Hampshire, to escape a haunting trauma, they're hopeful about starting over. But something evil is waiting for them in the woods just beyond the town, watching from the trees, ancient and hungry. I've heard this is good. I'm going to be a bit tentative going into this and probably terrified coming out, so we'll see. But I'll let you know how I go. The next one I picked up is Black Magic Volume 1, which is by Greg Rucka and Nicholas Scott, and I picked this one up because Greg Rucka is one of the writers for Lazarus, which I really enjoyed, so I wanted to try out this series. It says, Rowan Black knows. The scent of a body burned at the stake. The power of a murderer's severed left hand. The danger of blood spilled on stone beneath the new moon. Rowan Black is a witch. Rowan Black knows that a badge is worth exactly as much as the person carrying it, that motive is overrated, that you always watch your partner's back. Rowan Black is a cop. She knows something else. She knows magic is real. Sounds pretty interesting. The artwork in this is actually black and white tones, but I really like it because it's like very tonal black and white rather than just line work. And there are spots of colour like on here. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this and hopefully I like it. We'll find out soon. The next one I picked up because of Eleanor and I think possibly Chelsea as well. Someone else has definitely read this. It's called Lady Killer. It's by Joelle Jones and Jamie S. Rich, and I believe this is about a woman who is kind of a housewife and also an assassin, and she kind of has to balance the two somehow, and they kind of get mixed up together and all sorts of stuff goes on, I guess. So I'm quite excited about this. The artwork is quite poppy, which is not my favourite of styles, but I think it'll be alright. Carrying on with the books that I bought for myself, I also picked up this one, which is Speaker for the Dead by Orson Scott Card, because I read Ender's Game in September, really enjoyed it. Even though I'd already seen the film and knew what happened, I still really enjoyed it. And I think, although I don't necessarily agree with how Orson Scott Card conducts his life day to day and what he preaches about online, I do think he's a fantastic writer in everything I've read of his so far, which is only 2 books, Ender's Game and Pathfinder, but I've really enjoyed both of them. So I definitely want to read more of his stuff, even though it's a bit of a chore trying not to promote him, but trying to promote his books. I gotta get that balance right, but I really enjoy his writing, so I'm not going to stop myself from reading his writing. I'm just going to try and get his books secondhand where I can, and see how we go. But anyway, this is apparently the follow-on from Ender's Game. I won't go into anything about what it's about because it will spoil the end of Ender's Game, but I think it's going to be a good one. I've heard this takes a very different spin from Ender's Game and is a lot slower and a lot more considered in places, so I'll be interested to sort of see how he tackles that. But yeah, it definitely sounds intriguing and I can't wait to carry on with the series because I did really like the first ones. I also picked up some short story collections because often I can't justify to myself buying short story collections because they're a little bit more expensive, but because it was my birthday I justified all sorts of things, and short story collections were part of that. I picked this one up. It's called Stories of Your Life and Others and it's by Ted Chiang, and I picked this one up because I saw it on Rachel from Kalanadi and Joe from Final Blow Joe. Both of them were talking about it. I believe they did a live show talking about the stories within this. Plus, I really like the cover. I think that the kind of tree pattern silhouette is really cool, and I like the colour tones, and it reminds me of like an old science textbook, which for some reason is appealing. I don't know why. It says, with his masterful first collection, multiple award-winning author Ted Chiang deftly blends human emotion and scientific rationalism, that'll be why it's a science textbook look, in 8 remarkably diverse stories, all told in his trademark precise and evocative prose. Sounds pretty good to me. Definitely excited to have this, and I hope that I will be trying out some short story collections soon. Alongside that, I also picked up this short story collection, which is Hanu Rejniemi. I am not going to say that right. Invisible Planets Collected Fiction, and this is a Finnish author, I believe. I've seen that Maya from Maya Reads did a whole video on how to pronounce some of the terminology and the characters and the places within this, so I'm definitely going to be watching that whilst I read. And she also mentioned like the other series that this author has. I believe she was mostly talking about other series, but generally she did like a whole how to pronounce stuff in Finnish video, so if you haven't seen that, maybe check that out. Inside the firewall, the city is alive. Buildings breathe, cars attack, angels patrol, and hyper-intelligent pets rebel. This much-anticipated first collection from one of the world's hottest SF authors contains 17 stories, a neurofiction experiment, and a selection of his Twitter microfiction. And now we just have books that I was sent by publishers, so let's quickly go through those. The first one I was sent is Defender, and this was sent to me by Headline. I didn't request this one, so I don't really know much about it. It comes out in January. What if the voice in your head did not belong to you? What if it had a purpose of its own and it asked you to kill? Would you? So it sounds slightly stereotypical, but we'll give it a go and we'll try it. It's by GX Todd. The next one I was sent very kindly by Jean, who now works for Macmillan, and this is published by Picador, which is one of their imprints. It's called The Wonder, and it's by Emma Donoghue. I've read one of Emma Donoghue's books, I believe. Lib Wright, a young English nurse, arrives in an impoverished Irish village on a strange mission. 11-year-old Anna O'Donnell is said to have eaten nothing for months but appears to be thriving miraculously. With tourists thronging to see the child and the press sowing doubt, the baffled community looks to an outsider to bring the facts to light. Lib's job is simple, to watch the girl and uncover the truth. And then Orbit kindly sent me 2 books, which are these 2, and they are Wake of the Vultures and Conspiracy of the Ravens. Both of them are by Leela Bowen. I believe that this one is the first one, but they're both actually coming out on the 11th of October together, so I guess they're just releasing them in tandem, which is pretty awesome. I don't really know what this is about, so let's find out. Nettie Lonesome lives in a land of hard people and hard ground dusted with sand. She's a half-breed who dresses like a boy, raised by folks who don't call her a slave but use her like one. She knows of nothing else until the day a stranger attacks her. When nothing, not even a sickle to the eye, can stop him, Nettie stabs him through the heart and he turns to black sand. And just like that, Nettie can see. But her newfound ability is a blessing and a curse. Even if she doesn't understand what's under her own skin, she can sense what everyone else is hiding. Haunted by the spirits, Nettie must find her true kin if the monsters along the way don't kill her first. So that sounds pretty good, and I'm very excited. I'm guessing, yeah, this one just continues her story. So I'm excited. I'm definitely intrigued. I'm very, 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 very grateful to everyone who got me stuff for my birthday. I was quite amazed by how many of you did, and it was lovely. So thank you so much to my lovely friends and family, and everyone getting me bookish related things is great. Thank you to everyone who got me birthday stuff, and thank you to everyone who sent me messages on Twitter and Boxer and everything and YouTube, because I was just inundated with lovely messages, so thank you very much. Also, all the gifts were on point, so that was amazing. I had a great day, and I just wanted to thank you all and update you on my life and update you on my books, and that's what we do here. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video very, very soon. Bye!
Thank you for watching my video today. Go pick up a book, then come back and chat with me again.